Talk me a little bit about this class.
What's that?
Tell me a little bit about this class and your experience with this class.
This class, like any other class, when we start, we're really never sure what the caliber is, but we quickly learned with this class that we really had a bond with them, and they really just did everything that we asked and really came together as a group, and we really had no issues with the class at all.
What was your experience? Because you've done a couple classes now.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. I first came on to the training division in 2012, so I've seen quite a few classes come through, and each and every single one of them is definitely unique. This class in particular, they got together very quickly into the first couple weeks of the academy, knowing that they had to go through this together as a team, so I think they did very, very well.
When you talk to a lot of academy instructors, there's always one recruit who stands out the most to certain instructors. Who stood out the most to you?
Who the recruit was that stuck out the most to us? There's quite a few. We talk in the office a lot between classes about who's doing well and who needs improvement. But we all have our kids we really want to see do well. I like to almost think of it as the ones that we want to see do better or we can help out. And there's a few of those in this class. But a couple people just came from the bottom and really kind of found their way and did well towards the end. I can't really think of anybody that I would
Yeah, I think every week somebody stood out, and a lot of times, not that we thought any less of them, but every now and then a recruit would stand out in particular, just kind of surprise us of how well they've done or how well they're doing in a certain subject that they're being instructed on. So they've done a really good job, and I can't really say that anyone in particular that stands out, but I think as a whole entire class, they did absolutely tremendous.
It's the first class with body-worn cameras. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, first class with body-worn cameras, but they're all also young kids, so they're used to being on camera at some point. I mean, you can go outside and realize you're on camera. So the body-worn cameras to them is going to be, I think it'll be second nature. It's just a matter of getting used to seeing yourself on camera and what everything looks like, whether when you're doing your job, and picture doing your job every day with a camera and then watching yourself do it. It's just a different dynamic there. The body-worn cameras to them, I think it'll be fine. They see it as a way to protect themselves too. Any of us that worked for a while know that it's more your friend than your enemy. How many times have we been, on a call and something is said, or a complaint's made, and that was never said, that was never done, and now we can simply have a way to say, hey, look, we can check it and kind of clear us of any, of any kind of problems or trouble.
I think it's more difficult for an officer that's being introduced to it for the very first time, where in a sense these kids are, I should say kids, young adults, are being given the cameras during training, in which I think it's more advantage towards them. To kind of just get themselves familiar with it. So right out of the gate, they're already accustomed to wearing a body-worn camera.
Talk to me about some of the scenario exercises you did, because people actually like to do these.
Yeah, the scenarios are very interesting, and it's as close as we can get to giving them a real-life experience as a police officer. I have to add that it couldn't be done without the help from the rest of the other police officers in our department. A lot of them step up to the plate. A lot of seasoned officers that have a lot of road experience and could understand, and most of those scenarios are kind of catered towards everyday experiences that a police officer would see on a daily basis.
Lieutenant, what do you have to say about the instructors under your command?
They're the best, and like I mentioned today, they really are. What I do is I try to just facilitate and try and make it easy for them to do their job, and I'll sit back and watch them instruct, and they're natural instructors. To watch someone not be able to do something or not get something at first, and then all of a sudden a few times with repetition and with the special tutelage of my staff, to see him realize it is great. And I see it every single academy. Some people need to be brought along a little slower, a little differently than others. They just need to be able to kind of pivot at any moment's notice and change their teaching style to fit every individual person.
Mr. Martinez, more towards you. What do you have to say to a lot of minorities out there that want to become police officers? And what steps would you?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's very possible. We have, obviously, as you've seen with this graduating class and classes of the past, the minority count has always definitely gone up, which is something that we truly encourage. A lot of the stuff that we've done as a department as well, we've done a lot of recruiting and to try to give attention to those individuals that just feeding them information how to sign up for the civil service test. And as you know, the city of Worcester every day is growing with different types of populations from all over the place, and very diverse city. So we definitely need those police officers, and it's good to have them in these academy classes.
No, at the end of the day, everybody's blue at the end of the day, and seeing them in the blue uniforms for the first time today was special. It always is. They go from their usual academy khakis to blue, and it is funny. It seems kind of stereotypical, but everybody does turn from one race, one background into a police officer at the end, and it's just good to see them because now we just we're all the same team.
So we put you on the spot because usually I ask the chief this. What is your motto that you go by?
A motto that I go by: try and be better today than you were yesterday.
I think it just comes down to helping people, good people trying to help good people out there, and I think we just try our best to do everything and teach these new recruits and these new police officers how to do that as well.
That was a tough one too.